Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. My name is Nay, and today's video I am going to be talking about Berea College and the frequently asked questions that I've gotten. So basically these are questions I've gotten from like my Telegram group, from YouTube, from when people DM me on Instagram, like from the comments, and I've kind of put the frequently asked questions together, and I'm just gonna like be answering them in this video. And also guys, if I look very tired in this video, that's actually because I am, because this is my third time of shooting this video. I shot it the first time, I don't know what happened. The second time I shot it and it said my SD card was formatted, like the video just disappeared. I actually had to go and buy a new SD card. So I am like tired, so please bear with me if I'm not like, you know, I guess as vibrant as I used to be. But yes, let's just go into the questions and the answers. So the first question is, when will the 2023 application for Berea be out? So at the moment, at the time that I'm making this video, this is July 2022. So the application for Berea opens up every August. So basically the application for 2023 for international students is going to be open August 2022, right? So within a month. So if you're watching this video right now, get your SAT ready, get your standardized tests, get your transcripts ready, and be ready to apply to Berea once the application opens up. The next question is, what did you write in your personal essay and how many pages was it? My personal essay, if I remember correctly, was 3 pages. Guys, it's been very long. This has been like what, 7 years ago, right? So but yes, my personal essay was 3 pages, and I basically talked about my life. That's why it's called personal essay. I wrote about my life. I wrote about, you know, my aspiration, my dreams. I wrote about the financial constraints that my family had, and yeah, that was the things that I had in my personal essay. The next question is, what is early action? So I think they've actually changed what it's called on the website. If I'm not mistaken, when I was applying to Berea, early action used to be called early decision, right? And early decision basically means, so this is it, right? Berea College application opens up in August, right? And then you have till November 30th, that's the application deadline. But now if you apply between August and October 15th, like if they get your application between August and October 15th, that's early action. That means you applied early, and that means like the admission committee looks at your application first, and that kind of gives you like a leg up, right? If you apply for early action, like if you apply earlier than October 15th, then that usually gives you like a leg up. But now listen, the fact that you did not apply early, if you apply it after October 15th, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get admitted into Berea, okay? For me, my admission came and I did not apply for early action. So what had happened was, during my onset, we had to send like the paper documents, right? Right now, the Berea actually opened something that is called Coalition. I think it was opened 2 years ago, right? So that international students could be able to apply online. But when I was applying, you had to send your documents, right? So I had finished gathering everything, I think by October 10th, and I put it out to DHL. But it didn't arrive till I think October 16th or October 17th. So I had obviously missed the early action. And I remember when I got the notification from DHL that the package had finally arrived to Berea, like it had been signed off by, I think it was by Tim Cook, if I remember correctly. I was crying. I told my mom, I was like, I tried so hard and I still didn't get to apply for the early action. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get into Berea. Like, I was crying so hard. I remember, because in my head I had just given up because I really wanted to apply for early action. But that was actually the year that I got in. So the fact that you don't apply for early action does not mean that you're not going to get into Berea. Still apply, right? Still sending your applications as long as you're applying before November 30th. Then the fourth question is, what is this 2200? It's like 2200, and is it mandatory? So 2200, Berea College requests, or rather requires, that you pay 2200 deposit before you're giving your I-20. And I mean, of course, if you're an international student, you know what your I-20 is. That's your IV, your invitation letter that you're going to use and go to the embassy to apply for visa, right? Berea College requires that you make a deposit of $2,200 before they give you this IV. Now, this $2,200 is an emergency money for your 4 years of staying in Berea. Berea is not eating your money, no. So basically, if maybe there's an emergency, maybe if you have to go back home to your home country during one of the summers unexpectedly, if something happened back home, if something is actually even happening to you, maybe one time you had to be admitted into the emergency room, because that actually happened to me. I had to get admitted into the ER when I was in Berea, right? So if things like that are happening, so that 2200 is where Berea is gonna like kind of like help you out. And after you graduate, after your 4 years of attending Berea gives you back your 2200 back if you didn't spend it. And if you spent it, let's say out of the 2200 you spent like 200 and you have 2k left, Berea gives you back your 2k left after you've graduated. So the question is, must you pay all the 2200? What if your family cannot afford it? The 2200, yes, it's required that you pay all. But now if you come from like a really low income family, because the thing is, the dollar is worth a lot in a lot of African countries, right? So if you're coming, say, from like Nigeria, right, that's 2200 is about, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 1.5 million naira, right? That's a lot of money. Like, that is a lot of money for a lot of families in Nigeria, right? So if your family can't really pay the whole 2200, you can email the international admissions team of Berea and get in touch with the international advisor, our DSO. He is so helpful. Like, I am telling you, he will go back and forth with you and tell you, okay, can your family pay this? Can you guys pay 1000? Can you guys do, like, when I say he will actually like help you out, the DSO, he is so helpful. Like, even till now, even though I've graduated from Berea, I still email my DSO and I still like, you know, catch up and be like, oh, this is what I'm doing. The DSO is very nice. So a lot of schools in America, sometimes they don't really treat their international students right. Like, if the international students is in crisis, they don't care. But no, that's not Berea, right? Berea actually cares about his international students, right? So if you can't really pay the 2200, you can email the international admissions team, because at this point they have accepted you, right? Berea College has already accepted you, so that means Berea has seen something in you. So you can email them and tell them this and this is the problem, and most definitely the admissions team, they will go back to admissions team, and then the admissions team would come together and they might reduce the money for you. I have seen it happen. I saw it happen in my set. Not everyone paid like the whole 2200 in full. The next question is, do I need a perfect GPA to get admitted into Berea? No, you don't need a perfect anything. For me, for my transcript, my high school transcript, I had a lot of A's and I think maybe 3 B's, a couple of B's. Yeah, I think maybe 2 or 3 B's. So it definitely was not a perfect GPA. You do not need a perfect GPA to get into Berea. You do not need a perfect like standardized exam like SAT or TOEFL. No, you can get in with like a good GPA. Like, if you have a GPA of like 3.2 out of 4, that's a good GPA. You can still get in with that into Berea. The next question is, do you pay for your housing, or does Berea pay for your housing? Berea pays for your housing as an international student. So basically, all international students live on campus. So actually, when you come into school, right, your freshman year, everyone lives on campus, but sophomore year you can move out of campus, right? But for international students, you're like living on campus for the 4 years that you're in Berea, right? So Berea pays for that. So the next is, does Berea provide you with flight money? No. After you apply to Berea, you get admitted into Berea. Every other thing that happens from then on, like you bringing yourself to America, that's on you, right? Berea does not provide you with flight money. You have to book your flight by yourself, do all of those things by yourself. You have to be able to get yourself into the US, into Kentucky, right? And then usually when you land at the Bluegrass Airport, that's the airport in Lexington, Kentucky, then they will come. That's actually what happened. I landed 2 days earlier. I had to sleep in a hotel. My family had already paid for the hotel from Nigeria. I had to sleep in the hotel for 2 days, and then the next day after that they came to Bluegrass Airport and they picked me up to go to Berea. So no, Berea does not pay for your flight money. But now this is the thing, right? Remember how I said Berea really cares for its students? Berea genuinely cares. If you've been accepted into Berea and you're like your income is very low, like you cannot afford flights, still email them, still email like the international office, right? tell them, let them know your predicament, because this is the thing. At this point, Berea has already admitted you, right? So tell them this is what is happening. You don't have any money to pay for your flight, and usually the international advisor will kind of like go back and forth with you and try to find a solution. Like I mentioned before, the DSO in Berea is so helpful. Like when I say so helpful, I mean so freaking helpful. Like you guys should really take advantage of that. Actually, there was a friend I had. He was like a set above me. One time, I think he went to his home country. He was trying to come back. They refused him visa when he was coming back. We wrote to the embassy and told them, hey, this is our student. Like, he needs to come back and finish his education. And yes, the student missed a semester because, you know, with the whole visa shenanigans, he couldn't really come back in. But after that, like, semester, he was able to fix everything and he got back into the US. And that's because Berea got involved. So, like I said, Berea is very, very like involved, and Berea really cares about his students. So if you can't really afford flight money, like email the DSO, right, and know how like you guys can come up with a solution on how to help you out. The next question is, how do I increase my chances of getting into Berea? I think I have like 3 tips on increasing your chances of getting into Berea. The first is personal essay. Guys, I cannot overemphasize this. Work on your personal essay. See, this is the thing, right? Your personal essay brings out who you are. Because remember, the thing is, they are going through like papers, like they are reading papers of this, like everybody's application. Now your personal essay tells your story, right? If your family is having financial problem, if you're not going to be able to attend like college or attend university, if you don't get into Berea, put that down. If your family, like if you lost like your parents or whatever, put that down. Put everything down. Let them know this is what I'm going through. If I don't get into Berea, I would probably end up in the streets or something. Your personal essay should bring out who you are, and then it should bring out like your dreams, your aspiration, and you should talk about why they should choose you out of everyone. Something you guys should remember is that Berea accepts only 1 student per country, right? So the Berea only accepts 30 students per year, right? And then like kind of like between 30 to 33, it kind of depends, but that is like the standard, right? And then in some countries they will accept like 2 people per year instead of 1 person. During my set they accepted 2 people, and that's because of like Nigeria's population usually. So this is the thing, right? There are so many people that are applying to Berea, right? There are so many people that are reaching out to me in my DMs on YouTube and Instagram. My friend Esther, you guys have probably seen her on YouTube if you're like applying for Berea. She's also been on my channel. My friend Esther has so many people reaching out to her, right? Now imagine the people that are reaching out to me, to Esther, to some other people that might be doing, you know, videos about Berea that we don't even know about. And then imagine people that are not even reaching out to any of those people that are just applying by themselves. So now out of all of those thousands of applications, why should it be you that they will choose out of everyone? You really have to like work on your personal essay and make sure like it brings out who you are and shows who you are, shows your goal, shows your aspiration. If you have financial problem, it shows all of those things. It also shows your academic achievements, right? So that's the first thing that I'm gonna say. Then the next thing that I'm gonna say to improve your application is, if you had like a low standardized test score before, retake your test and, you know, try to get it higher, right? Like for instance, if out of SAT right now is out of 1600, right? If you had like 800 in your SAT, that's not really good. So if you can increase it to like 1200, you know, that's a huge jump, and that's gonna help you, right? So that's also a second way that you can improve your chances of getting into Berea. And then the third way that you can improve your chances is also to apply before October 15th, which is the early action decision. But then, like I mentioned before, if you're applying after October 15th, still go ahead and apply as long as it's before November 30th, because it doesn't, like, you're still gonna get admitted if your application is really strong. I got in, like I said, I did not apply for early action decision, so my story should be like, I guess, a case study for you if you're not applying for early action decision. So yeah, those are the 3 ways that I know that you can improve your chances when you're applying to Berea. So the last question is, can international students apply for spring No, you cannot apply for spring. You can only apply for fall application as an international student. But if like there's a problem, like maybe if you didn't get your visa, if you couldn't get to the US on time, all of that, Berea will still allow you to start the semester in spring, right? When I came in Berea, I had a friend from Eritrea. I'm not really sure what happened, but she had started in the spring instead of the fall. She said like there was a problem for her coming to the US and everything. So Berea is going to allow you to come in the spring, but the application has to be the fall application. So yeah guys, that's the end of this video. That's the end of the questions. If you have more questions about Berea, please leave them in the comment section, and I hope this video helps you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and I'll see you guys in another video.